of the Shades of Grey podcast. I am your co-host, Jasmine Carr.
And I am Monique Hogard, and we are with Archway Real Estate Group.
Yes, indeed. And we're so excited to be doing the first episode of the year. We've got a lot of really great things that we want to share with you today. We are going to start with giving just a little bit of a forecast economically for the year. And then we also want to talk about ways you as a homeowner can increase the value of your home without taking too much out of that bottom line in your pocket. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. Do you want to go first or shall I?
Sure. Okay, so I have 4 points today, and we are going to discuss the economic status and how it affects the housing market. The housing market is always affected by the economic status, income, population changes. We're seeing interest rates rise, so that's another factor, as well as, I already said, income. It's basically the law of supply and demand, guys. So basically, if house prices and rents are going up when there's limited supply, all of these factors play a part in the economic status and the housing market. So number one, the growth in the economy. Everybody knows how everybody wanted to move to Texas, during COVID. Everybody was working from home. So more people, more revenue, more people can spend in housing. Hence, it was a seller's market. That's why we saw it was just crazy. Prices of houses was going up. Sellers didn't have to make any type of, didn't have to provide any concessions for individuals. It was just crazy. So now, whenever there's a recession, inflation is occurring. We're seeing reduced sales. People are losing jobs because of COVID, some of the effects of COVID. They're falling behind on their mortgages, repossession, all due to the effects of COVID. And now we are in a buyer's market. Does that make sense? Everybody's like, well, how did it change from this to that? Well, there you go. I just gave it to you in a nutshell. Number 2, customer trust. Confidence is essential when people take on the risk of taking out a loan. When they fear that prices are going to go down, which is happening now, they tend to shy away from purchasing homes because they feel like, oh, the interest rate's going to go down, I might as well wait. Well, guess what? As we've been saying, it's not going down anytime soon. Maybe next year. So if y'all want to wait a whole year to buy a house, so be it. But is it really worth it? I mean, it's always give and take. So you're either going to have high interest rates or you're going to have high prices. So you can decide what you want to do. In my opinion, you can always refinance when the rates come down. So why not buy if you have an opportunity, especially with all the incentives that's going on, which is coming to an end. So keep that into consideration. Number 3, house income rates. The price to earning ratio impacts the demand. If house prices raise above wages, then less people can afford to buy a home. And, that market tends to dry up. So, and less people will purchase. So, we want to prevent that from happening. You have lenders that are trying to come up with these creative ways to lend money because, if nobody's buying houses, nobody's trying to get a loan. So, it all works hand in hand. And 4th, money. It's all about the money. Cash is king. So the supply of money is a key for the overall health of the economy and the housing market to be sustainable. Availability of funds in an economy when money is hard to receive, again, will cause the sales of homes to dry up. So, house sales should be, should align with the economic activity. And that's why we're seeing some of the trends that we're seeing today. So those are my 4.
Yeah, so I was looking through some information given by the Texas Real Estate Research Center. And so they've given their 2023 forecast for the Texas market. Obviously, you guys know every market is definitely different. What's happening globally and nationally is going to be different than what's going to be happening in your local pockets. So I wanted to share with you guys just some information that the Texas Research Center had to offer in terms of what we can expect for this year. Now, keep in mind that these factors change depending on a lot of different global factors that we're dealing with and a lot of national factors that we're dealing with. So things such as China's zero COVID policy and the subsequent public protests are having an effect on global markets and the global economy as a whole. Russia's war on Ukraine has disrupted global grain and energy markets, so we're seeing some effects of that. Europe's energy situation could actually worsen depending on the severity of this winter season. And the last factor is the outcome of the Federal Reserve and their attempt to actually control inflation with high interest rates. All of these things can play a factor in the forecast that the Texas Real Estate Research Center has given. But here are the predictions for a few different sectors in the real estate industry as the conditions are currently. So first, let's talk about the general economy. As Monique already stated, inflation's pretty much going to stay relatively elevated throughout this entire year. So just as she said, you really have to weigh your option. Do you want to purchase now and gain the opportunity to build equity on your home and refinance when interest rates are lower? Or would you prefer to wait it out? Also understanding the cost of waiting. The best way for you to be able to figure out whether or not moving is right for you is obviously to sit down and speak with a lender and a real estate professional in order to make a game plan and in order to see if purchasing this year is going to be the right move for you and your family. The Texas Real Estate Research Center also says that employment growth is actually going to moderate this year. So that's also something for us to keep in mind. Obviously, employment plays a very, very important role in people's ability to afford a home. In the oil sector, for those of you who may be working in energy, oil and gas, it's huge here in Houston. We're looking at oil likely averaging between $80 and $100 per barrel. The global response to Russia's war and OPEC are going to play a large role in the path that oil takes. But what they are saying is that any recession that we experience is going to place some downward pressure on prices. I'm sure a lot of people would like to have lower gas prices depending on where you are.
I miss those 89-cent gallon prices. We ain't seeing that anymore.
So if you are someone who's maybe looking for some acreage or land, I've had a lot of people talk to me about that last year and what that's going to look like. The Texas Real Estate Research Center is predicting that in 2023, we will actually see fewer rural land transactions than in 2022. So the market's going to be a little bit tight. What they have to say about that is that prices for low-quality land will likely fall, while prices for high-quality land will likely remain steadier. So if land acquisition is something that you're really passionate about or something that you're really interested in, speak to your local real estate professional in order to see and create a plan for you to be able to make the most out of what the market conditions will be for this year.
Yes.
Let's talk about some housing.
Yes. Let's get to some of the fun stuff.
Yes.
Enough about all this inflation.
Yes. So in terms of housing, the mortgage interest rate annual average will likely be higher in 2023 than in 2022. That's not anything shocking. We all know that prices are going up. So that's just kind of the nature of the game right now. They are expecting existing single-family rent and price growth will actually moderate with the potential to turn negative on a year-over-year basis. So if you are someone who has an investment property, a rental property, you're trying to decide on whether or not keeping that rental property is something that's going to be good for your investment portfolio, speaking to a real estate agent will help you to be able to get clear on what it is that your plan is and help you decide on what you want to do moving forward.
And for you investors, y'all play a part in this economic, downturn as well because y'all are buying up all these properties.
Yes.
So
yes.
y'all are playing a part in this too.
Correct. So commercial. So any of my small business owners, those of you looking for office space or looking for anything to operate your business off of, what the Texas Research Center has to say about commercial is that industrial deliveries will pull back from 2022's record highs while vacancies remain low. The office market will further segment as newer buildings maintain occupancy and older buildings lower rent in order to attract tenants. So there's an opportunity there for you. If you're looking for office building space, you're looking for office space, there's an opportunity by going to maybe an older building. They've got competitive prices. They're trying to fill any vacancies that they have. Opportunity is there for you. Best way for you to capitalize, obviously, is to talk to your local real estate agent. Commercial continued. Occupancy and rents will stabilize some in brick and mortar retail, so that's good. And one of the shocking things that I saw in their prediction was they are saying to expect to see more life in the best traditional indoor malls as people restore long neglected social habits. The return to a mall, I would love to see. I would definitely love to see that. It's been a while since the traditional mall structure has been anything popular. That's like way back in the day.
Yeah, what they gonna do at West Oaks Mall?
Listen,
I'm passing by there.
I would love to see it. I really would. But so that's what the Texas Real Estate Research Center has to say about this year. So if you guys have any kind of comments or predictions of yourself, don't hesitate to leave that down in the chat. I'm definitely curious to see what you think the 2023 economic forecast will be. Let's chat about it. And of course, if you guys have any questions, let us know. We're always happy to answer any questions that you have.
Absolutely. So now, what can you do as a homeowner if you're looking to sell your house to increase the value of your house? Just a little cheap, inexpensive tips to help you before you put that house on the market. Some things that you can do. One, paint. Paint goes a long way, guys. You know, sometimes paint can be a little expensive, but you're going to recoup that money on the sale of your house. So keep that in mind. If you can fix whatever you can, little minor things, because guess what? You may have to do it once the inspector comes to look at your house. So whatever things you can fix, please do that. Get you a nice little handyman. Anything that's broken, buyers don't want to have to worry about that. So take care of that. Replacing any old carpet. Oh my gosh, if you are a smoker or you have pets, please replace those carpets because it holds in the smell. And that can be a distraction or a deterrence for buyers. And always have your house smelling nice. For some reason, people like smells. They like, fresh smelling homes. Stage your home when you can. There are so many people that, as realtors, we can stage houses. We have a stager that does staging for our team. And, trying to make every room have a purpose, look colorful, removing, furniture, clutter. Don't put everything in the closet. Maybe put it under the bed.
People will look in your closet.
They're going to look in the closet.
They're going to look in the closet.
They want to see how much space they got for their stuff.
Correct.
Okay?
Correct.
So if you got to hide it, put it under the bed.
Don't put it
in the closet. Keep it out the closet.
Put it in the attic if you have to.
There you go. Do something in the garage.
Yeah.
Also, on the outside, you have went from the inside, now you want to go to the outside. Don't just focus on the inside and then leave the outside looking crappy. Power wash your home if you need to. If you have to do some touch-up paints, do that. Make sure your driveway. Yes, make sure your garden looks nice. Your grass is edged up. It's winter. We got leaves in the yard. Have somebody come blow out those leaves, please. It makes a difference. If you have a pool, have it cleaned because that's going to be the kicker right there. Is that pool? That's going to be the main giveaway. So you want your house to look like you want to have your yard looking like a backyard oasis. So keep that in mind, but super clean home, declutter. Try not to have a bunch of, if you're spiritual or religious, please do not have that stuff.
Sports memorabilia, you've got
photos. Try not to have too many photos, out. You can have little decorative things that say home or welcome, the home where the heart is where the home is, or whatever the saying is. You can have those type of things up, but just try to keep it as minimal as possible because you don't want to. You may have somebody who's not spiritual or Christian, and they coming up seeing crosses in the house. They're gonna be like, "Oh, let me go look at this other house. Let me go look at this other house."
The goal, keep in mind, is that you want your house to look as neutral as possible. You want the people who are coming in to view your home to be able to see themselves in the home, not you in the home. Otherwise, they're going to be less inclined, especially in today's market. Monique already said it's in a buyer's market right now. They may be less inclined to choose your home or want to put an offer on your home if they can't really visualize themselves in the home due to the things that you've left that make it your home.
Yeah, you got to detach.
Correct.
It's about, because you're about to have a new home.
Correct. Another tip, your air filters and your vents. Make sure that you dust through those, wipe those down, change your air filters. It's one of those things that we may forget about, but buyers and agents like ourselves, we definitely notice when we're walking into a house. It's just one of those little small details that takes a little bit of effort but makes a world of difference.
And it also helps with the smell.
Yes, correct. Especially if you guys have animals. Like, trust me, I know. I've got 3 dogs at home. So you want to make sure that you stay on top of those things so it doesn't give a potential buyer any reason to turn away from your home.
Absolutely. So that's all that I have. Anything else you want to add?
Let's see. So we talked about curb appeal. We talked about the vents on the inside. Painting counters, updating your counters. I know right now in a lot of new construction, light and bright is really what's selling right now, and there's a reason for that, right? Like light and bright, it goes back into that neutral, having things be neutral, and then allowing potential buyers to be able to come in. So to Monique's point about that touch-up paint, if you're going to touch up the paint anyway, maybe consider a neutral tone if you've got colors on your walls, because sometimes it's a little off-putting to walk into a room.
That's pink or blue.
Okay, we get it for, little Johnny, little Susie, or whoever. It was a great idea, but when it comes to wanting to sell the house, sell the home, those are kind of the things that you want to keep in mind.
Right.
Keep things as updated as possible if you can. The more updated it is, the better it shows. That's just something that you do during the course of ownership. It's not something that you have to do overnight. It may not always be necessary depending on the market that you're in, but the best way to know that is to have a listing appointment with an agent. They'll be able to walk through your home and let you know exactly what you can do in detail in order to prepare to show your home.
Right. And those colors and scents, it plays a part on your senses. It's just like if you go into a dungeon, do you feel like I belong here? I know some people like black, but I'm just saying, lighten it up, try to keep it, have an open concept. The less furniture, the better. Of course, staged to a decent extent, but it does the smells, all of that, the air filters, have some nice light candles, going, maybe some soft music ready for when they come in, because it all really does play a part on the feeling when people walk into your home.
Yes, indeed. And of course, if you guys have any questions about anything that we have discussed during the course of today's show, don't hesitate to get in contact with us. We're always happy to be a real estate resource and provide information that you can use as you plan for the year, your real estate goals.
And we will be doing some new things this year for you guys. We do want to help grow our audience. So if you like the information that you see, please like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will be doing, for example, we're going to start, I think it would be a great idea to start doing like a listing of the week. It may not be our listing, but of course we will be looking for a buyer. So if you are looking in the area that we are talking about or promoting, please feel free to reach out to us. We will also have our contact information on our YouTube page, so you can contact us as well as follow us on our individual social media pages. So we just want to be able to provide some more incentive to you guys and keep you interested, and we want to just be a great resource. We will also have more people in the industry on our show, so we just are hoping to do some amazing things this year. So we look forward to being your realtors of choice. And thank you for listening.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.